Typically, if you talk to folks in the intel world, national security, et cetera, they'll say Russia, more dangerous, aggressive, short-term threat, China, the greater existential threat over time, just because it's a more powerful country, much bigger economy, greater resources, greater population. But there's also something in their tactics and the subtlety or lack of subtlety. For a long time, U.S. leaders of both parties have assumed that China and Russia want what we want. That delusion persisted. It's not true. So you got to know that and then adjust the way you react. Doesn't mean you go to war, but it means you treat with kid gloves and say, I know that you know that I know what you're up to there, and take steps to defend yourself. One, defend election systems, better defend our national security systems and so on. Defend your satellites. Satellites are now being launched that have maneuverable capability so they could get out of the way of the bad guys. You need leadership from the top. You don't have that. You need alliances because you're much stronger when you're working with your allies against these major threats. We have an administration that has questioned and undermined those alliances to some degree. In some areas you need treaties, right? We need a treaty for space. You don't have it. We need a treaty for cyberspace. We don't have it. That helps set the rules to some degree. I mean, we had numerous treaties with the Soviet Union, even in the midst of the Cold War, to kind of put some boundaries and reduce the risk of global conflagration. You need the same thing for space and cyberspace. We don't have that yet. So folks know what the steps are. But we're not taking them yet.
I mean, that's because it makes all the sense in the world. We had the SALT treaties with the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War.
Imagine doing that if you didn't have the president, negotiating. You couldn't do it. So everybody says you need what they call a whole of government response, and that's only possible with leadership from the top.